And hello, late tea time podders around the world. Very good to have you with us again. It is Wednesday, our usual slot, and we are here to talk about two tournaments today, the American Express and the Dubai Desert Classic. As always, joining me, looking beautiful as ever, it's the lovely Dave Tindall.
Hello, how are you, James?
I don't usually introduce you like that,
No,
do I?
You've thrown me.
You okay?
Yes, I'm good, thank you. Yes, looking forward to two good events this week.
Yeah, which one should we start with? I'll give you the choice.
Let's go to Dubai.
Boing, and there it appears. The Dubai Desert Classic then is the first one we'll be looking at. And Rory McIlroy in the field for this one. And he's rather hot favourite to this one, DT. I've got him down here as 3-1 to win the thing, which is pretty short, isn't it?
It is, but with good reason, because he's got an amazing record in this event. He's won it 3 times. He's not been outside the top 10 since 2008, which is astonishing. That's 10 visits, top 10 every time. Runner-up in last week's Dubai event, which he should have won. I don't know if you saw any of that.
No.
He missed, he three-putted from about 2 feet at one point. And then even after all that, he had the lead going to the last and hit his drive into the water. So he kind of messed up. But what's relevant, I think, is how he took that. And I've been looking at his quotes this week. He said, talking about this event, he said, "I feel like this tournament has been a sort of staple in my life for at least half of it. I've been coming back to this tournament for 18 years, so over half my life. I feel like I've had a 3-month off season, basically. You're going to make some mistakes early on, I think." So he's referring back to last week's errors that cost him. "I would have loved to have won last week, but even with all those mistakes I made, the fact I still had a one-shot lead going down the last, it says to me that my game is in really good shape and I should be quite excited for this week." So Rory sounding confident. One thing he's different last year he was involved in all the live stuff and kind of being on the board and kind of carrying this fight and getting all sorts of sort of political stuff. And it was just, it could go on forever that it wasn't affecting his game, but it must have weighed on him. He stepped aside from all that. So I think he must now feel a bit more focused on his golf.
Did you watch the overlap with him on it? Because they talked to him about that and the fact that he was the poster boy for the Remainers in Brexit language, and that he's attended meetings. He went out to see the live guys. He seemed to me to be the one that actually kind of gave the olive branch in terms of kind of joining back up again and getting it back to some kind of like world kind of linkage. And he did get the impression that he didn't begrudge people taking the money. He said he did initially, but then he thought, well, if I was kind of 42 and had a family, then I would probably I can understand why somebody who was maybe been a bit further down the ranks might want to get some coin in and cash in on that. But he didn't seem particularly bitter by it, but he seems more relaxed now.
Yeah, so I mean, you've given quite a lengthy explanation of what happened, which sort of shows the kind of depth he was having to go into. He's had lots of thoughts spinning around his head. I mean, he still played some great golf last year, but it can't have helped. So I just think a freed up Rory on his home course, not his home course, but what feels like a home course to him, the scene of his very first DP World Tour win, the one he keeps winning, he's got to be a massive bet this week. The problem is, of course, as you alluded to, he's 3-1.
Yeah.
But as Baldrick said, I've got a cunning plan.
Oh, cunning Baldrick.
So you could just back him at 3-1, but here's the thing, right? So if you go to Bet365, they're offering Rory McIlroy to win this event by going wire to wire, i.e. leading after every round. And that 3-1 jumps to 16-1.
Ooh.
But obviously, it's a tough thing to do, but how tough is it to do? And has Rory done it before? Well, when he won this event for the first time, he did it. He led after each day, 18, 36, 54, 72. he's won 2 majors in that style, led from the front, gone wire to wire. The US Open 2011, the Open Championship 2014. So it can be done, and he's gone close to it again more recently, doing that pillar to post triumph.
DT,
yes,
he's 10-1 to be first round leader.
Yeah.
So you're getting 6 more points for him to hang on, basically, aren't you?
Yeah, but hanging on is kind of sounds like he's desperately hanging on. I think if he gets the first round lead, then I think he'll just kick away, because one thing to get the first round lead, you need to be looking at the weather forecast. So I've had a look. Rory goes out at 08:10 local time, and it seems the best conditions, i.e. the least wind, is in the morning. Right. So he's got the stage to post that low one that could fuel him going on to win wire to wire. I mean, as you say, it could just be, that's another option. You could just back him for first round lead. But I just think if he does get there, the first round lead, then he goes on to win it. So that's one thing, 16-1. There's a slight twist on it in as well, where you can back him to lead after the second round and go on to win. Right. And that comes down to 7-1. So if Rory's ahead at 36 and then he goes on to win, you're getting 7-1. Now, I've been delving through his stats, and he's actually done that 11 times in his 33 wins across various tours. So that's a pretty healthy strike rate. So when Rory wins, he's a front runner, isn't he? That's what he's good at. So he sort of sets out his stall. He dominates.
When he doesn't, he has a bad first round and ends up chasing the field for the rest of the week, doesn't he?
Yeah, and sometimes he gets there, but more than often it comes back to haunt him. But if he gets that fast start, then so many of his majors were won. Well, all of his majors were won by getting out of the blocks quick. And if he does that here, he'll be thinking, well, this is my playground, isn't it? Here we go again. The field will be going, oh, no, Rory's off on one again. So I think 2 ways there, wire to wire at 16s, and also a slight compromise, Rory to lead after the second round and go on to win at 7s are 2 other ways to back him at a more kind of palatable price than the 3-1.
I mean, we'll put people off for 3-1. It is very skinny in golfing terms, but if it's a winning 3-1, it's a profit, isn't it? But
and if you want to, if you've got a staking plan and you want to put, all right, I'll put half of it on the 3-1, but I'll just put a little bit each on those other 2. Yeah, it's just a way of maybe getting more bang for your buck, kind of thing.
Is he your only pick in Dubai, or you got anybody else up your sleeve?
I've got another player, actually, another well-known player. Checks notes, Adrian Maronk.
Well, you're very noisy with those notes, For the people listening later, that horrible noise is DT rattling his papers.
It's done with an air of deliberateness, because I want to, get across the fact that I have got notes. I'm not winging it.
Like the newsreaders in the olden days, where they used to kind of bang their papers on the desk after finishing. And that's good evening.
Yeah, these notes were real. Bash, 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 bash. So Adrian Maronk is the other player I like. Earlier in this week, was it Tuesday? It might have been today, Wednesday. He was awarded the prestigious 2023 Seve Ballesteros Award after being named Player of the Year.
Oh, wow, okay.
And actually, Seve's son, Javier, was there to present him with it. So a lovely little moment. Nice. You know how the esteem Seve is held in for.
Anything with Seve's name on it in golf is going to be treasured, isn't it?
Yeah, so Maronk has won that. So that's given him a real boost coming into this event. He said, I enjoy this week. I love playing here in Dubai. It's probably one of my favourite tournaments of the year. So I'm excited to be here. He said it was such an honour to get that award for all the things he did last year when he won 3 times and finished 4th on the race to Dubai. And also, worth remembering, he didn't play on the Ryder Cup team.
No, he just missed out. He was the one spoken about all the time, wasn't he?
He was almost like the 13th man. But, if you want some fuel to sort of, that's not going to happen again. I'm going to get on this team if it kills me this time. Just gives him that extra layer of motivation, I think. He loves playing here. He's got that motivation. Looking at the sort of current form, course form double, you always like to build into your assessment. So current form, he was 10th last week in the other Dubai events. That was a nice start to his year. Just before Christmas, he was 8th in the Australian Open. So he's got recent good form. And then as for the course form at the Emirates Golf Club, he was 4th on his debut in 2022. So he's already proven, it's not just like, I like the course. He's proven that he can score well on it. He's also a fan of just playing in this area. He's got 6 top 10s in his last 9 starts in the UAE, United Arab Emirates. So all the planets look aligned, I think, for Adrian Meronk. And you can get about 20s, I think.
You can get Adrian Meronk at a bigger price than that, DT. He is on the list here. You can get 35 to 1, 6 places with Sky Bet, if that's still active.
Are you sure? I think you're in the wrong market. You're looking at the first round leader there, I think.
Oh, I might be, actually. I moved it across. I'm lying to you, late tea time podders. Bear with me. Adrian Meronk.
Maybe back in that market as well. Maybe it's a Freudian slip that will come sort of to pass.
Yeah, 22 to 1, 6 places with Sky Bet is the winner market.
Yeah,
I've mentioned first round there, 35 to
1.
Well,
yeah, you know, the best things happen by mistake sometimes. So, you know, have a look in that market as well.
That's my life, DT.
There you go. So yeah, so 2 kind of top dogs to be on this week. I mean, it is, you know, an event that often goes to a classy winner. So Rory and Adrian Meronk, to have them on your side, I think is a good idea.
So they are flying the flag for the Late Tea Time podcast. Not that they know it, probably. In Dubai, Rory 3 to 1 to win, bet 365. Wire to wire, he's 16 to 1. Second round leader onwards to win, he's 7 to 1. And Adrian Meronk is 35 to 1 to be the first round leader, 22 to 1 to be the winner of the blimmin' thing. Right, we move from Dubai, and I take you away. Have you got your card ready? The American Express card in your pocket? Because we've got that one next, and I'll give you the top end of the market here. And Scotty Scheffler, he is the favourite to win the American Express. He is best price of 11 to 2. You've got then second in the market, Patrick Cantlay, he's 10s. Xander Schauffele is 12 to 1. Sanjay Im, 22s, and then 25 to 1 for Yu Young Kim, or Tom Kim, isn't it? For in there at 25s, as is Justin Thomas, DT.
Yeah, if I was playing one of the top end, I'd play Tom Kim. I think 25s. He's won twice in the Las Vegas, in the Nevada desert, and we're here in the California desert. He played well here last year, was 6, so he'd be my pick from the top. But the more interesting one, I think it's about time we had a kind of outsider, isn't it, this week, rather than just focusing on
your gargantuan prices.
So the man in question, right, is a guy called Tom Whitney. And I think before this week, I think I would have known more about Mike Whitney, the Australian left-arm baseman.
With my background, that was the first name that came into my head, to be honest.
No relation. Mike Whitney was on Neighbours once, wasn't he? That was a strange...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I think Mike, you know, who's the famous actor Mike off Neighbours? Guy Pearce.
Yes.
There's a clip where he goes, "Oh, look, it's Mike Whitney," and Mike Whitney appears with his big bubble perm. I'm sure I didn't. I could have dreamt it, to be honest, but
that was just like having Guy Pearce on the podcast.
Yeah.
If you're watching Guy, Happy New Year.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. So Tom Whitney, not Mike Whitney, Tom Whitney is the one, because, as I say, before this week, didn't really know who he was. Probably seen the name around, but we're playing James the local angle. He's the local guy.
Blimey, DT, he's a huge price.
Yeah, I know. Well, bear with me on the price, because it's a certain market.
You get 1,000 to 1 on him to win this tournament.
Well, you've mentioned it, so you can't say we haven't mentioned it, but it'll be a different market that I play him in. So Tom Whitney, as I say, he's the local guy. This tournament is a place called La Quinta. Okay. So he went to La Quinta High School, which is 6 miles down the road.
If you're new to the Late Tea Time podcast, this is a regular theme, viewers, because we find people that have gone to college or school close to the course who know it inside out and often do very well. Yeah.
So that's the thing. Yeah, as you say, he knows his course extremely well. There's a sad angle to this as well, because he grew up playing golf with his brother, and they both went to La Quinta. His brother Bob, who committed suicide. He suffered from depression, a really sad story. But Tom carries around a little marker with him that used to belong to Bob. So, when he marks his golf ball, so he kind of says every time he marks that, he's got Bob with him kind of thing. So it's a lovely little way of remembering his brother. So those two guys, they went to the local school, and then interviewing Tom, he said, this week I get to make my debut here in my hometown event in front of my hometown crowd. I'm pretty comfortable at this place. Got to play here in 2018 on a sponsor invite. Now I've earned my way here and get to play as a member. And the courses look in great shape so far. So he was asked about kind of his playing time here. And he said he's played these courses. There's 3 courses this week. The Pete Dye Stadium course, the Jack Nicklaus Tournament course, and La Quinta Country Club. So he's played them all, and he said he played them a lot in local tournaments, or he got mates who were caddies to kind of get him on and play all day there. So he really, really does know them well. And just that little bit, I mean, so far we've got, okay, he went to school nearby, he's played the courses, which is one thing. But the little line that he said, I played here in 2018 on a sponsor invite. So I went back to what did he do? Did he miss the cut by 20? Was it an embarrassment? No, he made the cut. So that was 2018, which is now 6 years ago. He's a far, far better player now. I mean, he's now a proper PGA Tour member. He's qualified for the highest level he can get. Came through the Corn Ferry. So he's a much better player these days. So the reasoning is if he can make the cut, I think he finished like 60th odd back then. When he wasn't he's been away to the military, so he's put things on hold. But if he can do that back then, now that he's a proper bona fide PGA Tour member, what can he do? Because I think obviously we didn't know him before. Most people listening to this or watching this won't have really know who he is. So I think we're getting a kind of an edge on a guy that we didn't know about, and I don't think that's built into his price because the mark because. You can go as crazy as you want, but I think that the reasonable thing to do here maybe is to look at the top 40 market, and he's 7-1 to make the top 40. It's not asking for the earth, is it?
I preempted you. I went for top 20. He's 25-1 to be top 20, 7-1 to be top 40. So, I mean, you basically make your choice on that. But I mean, he's down there with the likes of other people I've never heard of, Bronson Bagoon, Hale Jr. Blaine. They won't have had the same knowledge that he's been Mike Whitney, Tom Whitney will have.
I think he's been judged on the fact that he's kind of a newbie playing his first event as a member. Yeah. But obviously now we know that he's got this edge. I mean, it's not as simple. It doesn't always work out as cutely as this. But I'd rather have this on my knowledge on my side and just play. As I say, top 40 is kind of the official bet because I think he's got it all on to try and challenge for the title, but he can run into a top 40 finish because he nearly did that. It wasn't a handful of shots from doing that last time he played it.
Well, I put on the screen there, please always gamble responsibly. If you see that 1,000-1, you think, oh, Dave Tindall's mentioned Tim. Don't lump on. That's a nibble if you take that one. But be a little bit more cautious. As I say, top 20, 25-1, top 47-1. He has a little bit of a sniff. If he can make the cut again, who knows? But Tom Whitney, the pick then in the American Express. Anything else from America?
No, so say he's the sort of the little kind of new angle that we found. So back him in those sort of outside markets, and it'd be Tom Kim. So 2 Toms in America. Our money is on the Toms.
We went for Kim's last time. We'll go for Tom's this time. And
I don't know if you saw last week, Chan Kim. He had a disaster in the first round, but then he shot I think 64 in the second round.
He was 7 under, I think, in his final round as well, wasn't he? Or something ridiculous.
Yeah, so he missed a cut, but on day 2 he had one, I think, possibly the best score of the day. So it was a bit frustrating. Yeah.
If you just we nearly got a hole in one. One of our viewers tweeted us, didn't they, to say, oh, you nearly got an ace on the such and such, but it wasn't quite to be, but it was a good pick. Sometimes the good picks don't work. Sometimes they do. That's betting, isn't it? That's why we always say gamble responsibly. Anyway, DT, we are looking at Rory, 3-1 to win it in the Dubai Desert Classic. Wire to wire, 16-1, second round leader, and then to win it He's 7-1. Adrian Maronk, the other pick for Dave, he's at 22-1. 6 places with Sky Bet if you fancy him to win the Dubai Desert Classic. And the American Express, Tom Whitney is carrying our cash. He's 1,000-1 to win it. Gamble responsibly, everybody. Top 20, he's 25-1, and top 40, he is 7-1. Probably give him quite a few places and hope he squeezes in and gets as a winner on the Late Tea Time podcast. As always, DT, thank you very much for your time this week and your expertise. Always good to see you.
Yeah, just to quickly say, those Rory wire to wire in the second round there with Bet365.
Yeah, so good luck out there, everybody. This has been a sports broadcast media production. We usually see you on a Wednesday. We'll try and make it a Wednesday as often as we can to get the latest gossip and news and rumours from the various courses around the world. But this has been the Late Tea Time podcast, and we'll see you again next week. Cheers all.
Always gamble responsibly. Visit begambleaware.org for more information.
You gone? He's gone.